Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron for those of you that are new here, and this is Beauty with Cameron. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my in-depth step-by-step eyebrow tutorial. All the products I use, the order, everything. And also all of these products are pretty affordable and cheap, so you should have no problem getting your hands on these. It's not going to be a $35 concealer and a $18 eyebrow pencil. None of that. It's going to be very affordable, and I'm gonna hold your hand through it. It's gonna be step-by-step. We in this together. Without further ado, let me show you how I do my brows. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I take the NYX brow glue. This is, if it'll focus, okay, there it is. This is the NYX brow glue. This is the clear one. They have them in like different colors. Like I think they have a black one and a brown one, but I'm using the clear one today. So I start off by just kind of laying my brows down with it. I brush my hairs upwards. That way I can lay them exactly how I want them to. And as you can see, they're kind of going in that, like, they look very uniform compared to this brow. Is not as, you know, neat. That's the word I'm looking for. I take the brow glue and I just go ahead and I lay my brow. Allow the glue to dry down a little bit. I'm gonna take just a clean eyebrow spoolie and I'm just gonna brush over that just to kind of take some of that stickiness away from it. But it's gonna still lay flat, but it's not as tacky and sticky looking, plasticky, but it's still very flat. So yep, I'm still taking that NYX brow glue and I'm just laying my brow flat, 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 flat. And then I'm gonna brush the hairs still in the same way, but just to take some of that shine away from my brow before I start going in with my product. Plus I feel like the product applies better when it isn't so sticky. Next I'm going in with the NYX. This is the NYX micro, what is it? The micro brow pencil. This is in the shade Espresso. It's not black. It's like a dark deep brown, like a black brown. I'm just gonna fill in any gappy looking spots of my brow. It doesn't even look like I'm doing anything, but I promise you I am. I try to keep my brow in that shape that I shaped it into with the brow glue first. I just try to keep that same shape going even as I'm filling it in. So if I need to brush the hairs back into place, I'll do so. I just want to make sure my brow looks as neat as possible. And I'm not using a heavy hand at all when I'm doing this. I'm using the lightest hand, but I'm going over it multiple times to fill it in, but with a very light hand. I don't want any harsh strokes. I don't want any of that, just light strokes. I already have a pretty full brow, so you know this tutorial might not be for everybody, but for us full brow girlies that kind of, you know, don't know what to do, I'm showing you. I also cleaned my eyebrows up before I recorded this video. So when you're doing your eyebrows, you want to make sure they're a little clean underneath. You want to make sure your eyebrows don't have any like just sparse hairs. Like it needs to be a little cleaned up. If not, that's fine, but I just would recommend having them cleaned up for an easier and a better look. It's gonna look a lot better with them cleaned up. Next, I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in the shade Fawn. I'm taking a flat head brush, and what I've done is I've just put a little bit on the tip of my brush. I'm going to take that product and carve my under eye, under my brow. I start at the tail of my brow and I go down. Then I work my way to the front of my brow. I'm moving backwards, but I'm going forward. The closer I get to the front, the less concealer I use. Towards the tail, I use more concealer, and I'm gonna drag that down to my lid, but I keep the front of the eyebrow with less concealer just so that it doesn't show up as harsh. As you can see, I've kind of went in my eyebrow a little bitty bit. That was not intentional. I'm about to fix that. Going back in with that pen and just kind of filling that gap back in. So as you can see, I've kind of went past the tail of the brow on both sides, and I've also went past the front of the brow. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush without adding any more product. I'm just going to drag the product down to my lid like so. I made like a unibrow with my concealer. This is the Deluxe Crease brush by Real Techniques. It's the 300 brush. I'm taking this brush and I'm just going to blend out my concealer from the bottom to the top. As I get closer to the brow, I try to be a little bit more gentle just so that I make sure I'm not moving any of that product into my brow. Now what I'm going to do is the same brush, I'm going to just blend this upwards. And then I'm going to blend this upwards lightly with a very light hand. Very light. See how that line just basically disappeared? Very lightly, just the front of the brow. I'm gonna blend out this harshness of the line down here. If I was doing a full face, this like spot would be covered up, but since I'm not, it's gonna be obvious. This is how the brows are looking. This is how they would look as a finished product of what you would have if you just stopped here. If you continued on and did like a full face, you would eventually do your contour, you would do your bronzer. I put bronzer and contour like right here and I blend it up into the front of my brow. I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer, blend it into my brow, but you don't have to do this step if you're not doing a full face. You could stop here and this would be your finished look. But I am going to just show you what it would look like with a bit of bronzer. I'm using the lighter shade of the bronzer in my Juvias Placed bronze palette. This is in the shade, I believe, Deep Dark. Yes. Doing my nose, and then I would come up and do a bit of bronzer, just like along that part, and that's what gives it that effect. If I was to like do a full face, this is how they would look. Since I'm not doing a full face, I'm stopping here, and this is the end of the eyebrow tutorial. After everything is done, this is how the brows are looking. If I was doing a full face, it would look much more complete, but since I'm not, this is how they look. With that being said, let me know, do you guys like how they turned out? Y'all can take something from this video. It was very simple, step by step. Like I said, it would be, I held your hand the entire time like I said I would, and now you have perfect eyebrows like me. We did it. So with that being said, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.